Well, we're back in the stand here again today. A little earlier today, yesterday we come in here. Wind was blowing pretty hard and we were fooling around trying to find a place to set up out of the wind, and of course about the time we decided there wasn't a better spot than this, go up here and brave the wind. Well, by the time we come up here, the big buck that we were after was already in front of our spot here, and several does and a couple other bucks too. But so we come in here a little earlier today. I think it's a little after 2 o'clock, I think. So still cold, like 9 degrees, I think, on the way over here, but the wind has died or whatever, so not a lot of wind. But it's a little more overcast than it was yesterday. So hopefully that 9-pointer comes out of there again. I don't really think he knew we were here. A couple of the does kind of spooked, and he kind of went on over to the food source over here. So hopefully he's still around here somewhere pretty close. So we'll sit back and see if anything comes through the gate this afternoon. But been close a couple times, just can't close the deal yet. But deer are pretty spooky. I mean, they come out on this open ridge and they don't fool around. Most of them will just truck right on over behind me. There's a pretty good hay field over here that they're feeding in, so that's where they're going. We're just kind of trying to intercept them in between a real good bedding area on this side and their food source over here. So hopefully a pretty good buck will come out again tonight, but see what happens. All right. Well, how about that? It's the one we were wanting right there. Yeah, he come through there pretty early, I guess, but definitely didn't quite go through the gate, but pretty close, I guess, or whatever. I think I made a good hit on him there. Sounded like it, but we'll give him a little bit there and go take a look at him here. But yeah, he come over there all by himself. That's pretty cool. Didn't have to worry about any does to mess with, and a lot of turkeys out there. I think that probably kind of calmed him down, actually, but hardly any wind this afternoon, but it's probably not much past 3 o'clock, so definitely paid to get over here. That's the exact same route he took there yesterday. I just didn't get here quite quick enough, and the wind was blowing quite a bit harder, and there's other deer with him and everything, so this time by himself there, and pretty good opportunity. Just couldn't pass it up, I guess. So we'll give him a little bit and go take a look at him. But hopefully he didn't go too far. Got a good track in snow, if nothing else. Well, this is like right where I last saw him here. Maybe I didn't get as good a hit as I thought I did, but he's definitely hit him. He's bleeding. Got a pretty good track here, so oh, he probably went 100 yards here, so we'll get on the trail and see what happens. Well, I guess he didn't go too far after all. Just kind of got to the top of the ridge here, and laying right here in the corn stubble, so must have made a pretty good hit on him, I guess. But and it's cold. I'll say that. My fingers are freezing, but we'll get up here and take a look at him. Well, here he is. Pretty good buck. A long time that always recognized this buck by his, he always had straight back tines. I always called him the straight back 8, or he's a 9 this year, but it's pretty cool. He's been in this area for, I can't even remember now, but he's been in here all his life, I guess, and I'm guessing he's at least 6 or 7. He's definitely one of the dominant bucks here, that's for sure. But got quite a bit of footage of him there last year on this same ridge. It was actually a bean stubble field there last year, and he spent a lot of time on here. Actually got some pretty good video of him. I think he even broke off the same brow tine last year there, but it's pretty cool that he was on a lot of the rubs down there in this little patch of timber. I just been staying out of there this late season. Haven't even went in there. I saw him on trail camera there latter part of bow season, and I hadn't seen him since then, and showed up there yesterday, and for the first time in daylight that I saw him anyway, and so the cold weather definitely brought him out. I think it's in the single digits today, but there's no wind, so it's pretty cool to be sitting out there. Outside of my fingers are cold. But nice buck. Get him gutted out here before it gets dark, but just a couple of things.
although he died here in this stubble field, and he'd been on here earlier, but just the idea the cows were in here earlier, and the bean stubble field that he was feeding on also got covered with snow there, so he's actually going on over into the neighbors, and he's got a pretty good alfalfa field over there that all the deer have been going to, so that's kind of how we set up on him. Just, I don't know, he's still coming back and bedding in the same spot all the time, but just the idea that he was traveling over this ridge and going over there to that alfalfa field, just all the deer were doing the same thing, and it just got cold and got late enough in the year. Here it is, I think the 4th of January, so and he hadn't had any pressure for quite some time, so he just felt safe coming out here to feed early, I guess. So snow's a good thing, I guess, but I don't really like it late season. It just seems like it makes, you can see them deer as they come over the ridge to me. I mean, a lot of them would just run all the way right past the stand. It just seems like snow makes them more skittish and normal or whatever. I like, and all these deer were feeding before it snowed in that bean stubble field, and they were more than happy to stay right there and not go over to the neighbor. So snow can be good or bad, but I wasn't really liking it this year, but I guess it worked out. It just kind of covered up my food source, I guess, and I didn't really have a planted food source. This is just a farm that the farmer farms on, and you know, he runs his cows on the stocks and this and that, so they kind of take the goodie out of the food source as the season progressed here. But I guess it all worked out in the end, so we'll get him gutted out and head for home.